Hello everybody, Anton Kraly here from dropshiplifestyle.com, and in this video we are going to be covering the top 10 niches for dropshipping in 2023. I put together a presentation that I'm going to share with you, but before I do that, I want to let you know that I have been making these top 10 lists since all the way back in 2015, and if you want to see them all to see how niches have changed and evolved over time, what I'm going to do is post a link in the description to a blog post that will outline all of the niches from the previous years, as well as this one. Now, also, before we get into this, I do want to be very clear here that what we're covering is the top 10 niches, but picking the right product type to sell is step one of the process. Now, every time I build my own stores or when I help other people build theirs, we start here, niche selection. That's step one. Step two is market research. Step three is creating your website. Step four is getting approved with suppliers, the ones you can actually sell for as an authorized retailer and make money with. Step five is then optimizing your store for conversions so people will buy from you. Step six is getting traffic so people can find what they want, which is listed for sale on your store. And finally, step seven of the process is to outsource and automate as much as possible so that your business can be managed in about 15 to 30 minutes a day. Now, I say that going in because some people think all I need is a niche idea. Once I have that, I'm going to throw up a website and I'm going to be rich, right? That's all I need. It's just a product. And products are the foundation. This is what everything else is built on. But again, reminder, public service announcement, this is step one. So pay attention, follow this lesson closely. If you do that, you will be on your way to building a highly profitable semi-automated store that provides real value to your customers and to your bank account. But just know this is the beginning. Okay, with that being said, let's switch screens. Let's jump into my computer and let's start the presentation. In 2023, we are focusing on what I refer to as recession-proof niches. These are niches where the products will sell regardless of what is happening with the economy. Now, speaking of the economy, let's talk about what has changed over the past year and where I believe we're going to continue to move as we progress throughout 2023. First off, inflation is up. I think everyone's aware of that. Credit card debt in the US is up per household. Consumer spending is down, and personal savings is also down. Don't worry, I came with charts to back up what I'm talking about here. The first one here shows the inflation rate going back from January of 2020, and it stops here tracking at September of 2022. But as you can see, there has been a massive and sustained increase in inflation as a percent. And what that means is that everyday things, the type of things we sell, cost more money to the consumer. Now, credit card debt, this is going back to 1999 and tracking up through Q2 of 2022. You can see all the way on the right, we're almost at an all-time high when it comes to US credit card debt outstanding balances, which means people have a ton of debt right now. And again, I'm not just showing where we're at now, but where I think we're going over this next year is that debt is going to continue to increase because products are also costing the consumer more. Now, on top of that, we're met with consumer spending going down. As you can see here from GDP in the US, for Q1 and Q2 of 2022, we are down, meaning people are spending less money. And if you want to pause this video frame and read through the description right here of this chart, you can see at the bottom that private good producing industries decreased by 10.4%. That is a big drop. And on top of that, personal savings in the US, you can see here moving in through the summer, which is as far as we have data at this point, it's at 3.5%. When going back just a year ago, it was almost double that. So what does this mean? It means that products cost more and customers, the consumer, the people we sell to, have less money to spend. Now, before I pull up the list and we get into the top 10 niches for dropshipping in 2023, I think it's important to clarify here that this does not mean that everyone's broke, and it does not mean that people aren't spending money. What it means to me is that people have less disposable income to spend, but they still have it. People still do have money, especially our target demographic, but they're making better decisions about where to spend that money. It's just not a free-for-all now where people have 0% interest rates and 1% interest rates and they're just buying whatever they feel like. Now people are making smarter decisions with their money and buying things they need. And as you'll see, as we get into the top 10 list, that decision-making that's happening in the consumer's mind is reflected on all of these niches that I chose. And one last thing before I get into this top 10 list, I want you to know that these are in no particular order. They are all niches that I have researched that I think will perform great in 2023, and I personally would build a store in any of them. Okay, with that being said, let's start the list. The first niche on our list this year is nursery room furniture. So I want you to think things like cribs, the baby dressers, the changing tables, even the decorative rugs, the little teepee you see there, the art for the room, the shelving. And the reason this is on the list this year and it made the cut, first off, is it meets all of the criteria that we discussed in the last video, which I'll link to below. But on top of that, baby furniture and baby supplies is something that parents do not skimp on in a recession. People, when they have their first, their second, their third child, whatever it is, they want the best for them. More so the first, but parents out there will get it. They're still spending the money on their children. They're not cutting back, especially on nursery room furniture items. So this niche definitely makes the list for 2023. Now, the next niche that we have on this year's list is camping gear. Reason being, like I mentioned earlier, people are going to be spending less, especially the people that can't afford to spend more. But like I mentioned, people still have money. They're just going to be choosing where to spend that money differently. So maybe instead of taking a family of 4 on a week-long vacation to Disney World and spending $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, they'll decide, you know what, this year, let's spend $1,000 or $2,000, invest it into camping equipment like a new tent, maybe like a roof rack for our car and sleeping bags and pots and pans and everything we need to have a great vacation locally for $2,000 that we can repeat every year. Another great niche during a recession, which is why it made this list for top 10 of 2023. And of course, again, this meets all of the dropship lifestyle niche selection criteria. I did a video just last week that shared 5 tips for profitable niche selection in 2023. Again, if you haven't seen that one yet, I'd recommend watching it after this one. It will be linked below. Now, this is the third niche on the list, but remember, they're in no particular order. I would sell any of these, and this niche is automotive parts. Now, here you can think things like the springs for cars, for the shock absorbers, things like brake rotors and brake pads, things like replacement carburetors. Now, why is this niche, and really all of these niches within the more general niche of automotive parts, why is this so relevant in 2023 and during a recession? Well, it's because people have recently been spending a ton of money on cars, including used cars where the prices have surged over the past few years. And as those cars start to need repairs, people during a recession are going to be less likely to trade those in and buy something new with a new loan at a higher interest rate, by the way. And they're going to be more likely to purchase parts where they can have their used car repaired, save themselves money, keep their car lasting longer during a recession. Because remember, I'm going to keep saying this, people still have money to spend, they're just going to be spending it in different places. So instead of a high interest loan on a new car, it's going to be replacing parts on their existing car they already own. Okay, let's keep moving forward, guys. By the way, if you're getting value so far, let me know by leaving a like on this video. Really appreciate it, and that keeps me motivated to make more. You can hit that button right below this one. And with that being said, we'll keep moving forward and get into the next niche for dropshipping in 2023. This one is power washers. Okay, why power washers? Well, one of the things that happens during recessions is, unfortunately, people lose their jobs, or they don't get the promotion or the bonus that was expected, or even sometimes they take pay cuts. So what do people do? They look for side hustles. They work in the new gig economy. They try to make money other ways they can. And in my opinion, selling what I would consider prosumer power washers is something that people will do very well with going into a recession, because people are going to be buying these not just for their own homes, but also to pick up jobs around their local towns and cities to make an extra income during a recession. And I'm sure even if you just pause this video video right now, you can brainstorm multiple related products similar to these that meet all of the dropship lifestyle niche selection criteria that would also work very well in the gig economy during a recession. Okay, I don't want to make this video too long, so let's keep moving right along and get into the next top niche for 2023. And this one I'm kind of putting under the umbrella of alternative energy. When people start to see their bills go up, they have to pay them. You need energy to your house. But as people start to see rates increased from not only their electric bill and their cable and everything else due to inflation, they're going to start looking, where can I put my money to save on these things? This can include things like solar panels, even the ones people can bring for camping. Also the ones they put on their homes or their offices. Even things like these mini windmills. People are purchasing these now in record number. Again, they meet all of the criteria from Dropship Lifestyle's niche selection, plus they're gonna pick up even more in sales during a recession, which in my opinion is where we are and where we're gonna continue moving in 2023. So if you're gonna do this, if you're gonna build a dropshipping store, why not position yourself in something that's seeing a natural uptick in sales and profit? Okay, moving right along, next niche I want to share with you is hydroponics. Now, maybe somebody wants to get into the gig economy, again, a little side hustle and grow something that some states allow to grow. They'll buy it for that. But there's also going to be plenty of people that are looking to spend less money on grocery bills. Again, inflation has already brought them up, and I only expect that to continue for the short-term future. So what do people do? They look for replacements. And our ideal customer, remember, we sell to the upper middle class. Instead of just looking for how do I cut my grocery bill in half by going to some store that sells less of a quality, maybe they'll invest in things like this for their home, where they can at least grow their own fruits and their vegetables throughout the year and be able to do it themselves, have a fun family activity, and be able to save themselves money on grocery bills. Another niche that I would definitely build a store myself in 2023. Now, speaking of food and being home and doing more things together, well, one of the things that happens in a recession is people spend less money going out to eat. They cook more at home. And again, for our ideal customer, the people we sell to, our demographic, the upper middle class, they're going to be looking for more ways to have fun with their family and have meal nights at home. That can mean investing in something like a pizza oven. So on pizza night, you're not spending $40 ordering from the local shop. Instead, you're buying the ingredients and you're making it in your backyard. This is a product that meets all of the dropship lifestyle niche selection criteria, and it's something that I think will do even better than usual during a recession. Remember, a recession doesn't mean people aren't spending money. It means they're choosing where to spend the money more wisely, and cooking at home with the family and making it fun is definitely a place people will be gravitating to. Now, speaking of making home more fun, another niche on this list for the top 10 of 2023 is bounce houses. And I'll tell you, I was personally shocked to find out that people actually buy these for their homes. Growing up, I didn't have one, none of my friends had them. But since I've moved to a new area in North Carolina, I've seen more and more of these at my son's friends' houses, and people buy them online. And just like everything we pick at Dropship Lifestyle, people don't care what brand name they come from or anything like that. They want something that is the right size, that can be packed and stored easily, and something that can keep their family having fun at home. So again, maybe the family is cutting on that $6,000 Disney trip this year, but they'll spend $2,000 for summers of fun by having a bounce house they can pop up in their yard. Something else I would personally definitely sell in 2023. And moving right ahead to the 9th niche on this list, we have telescopes. Now, why did I pick these? Well, of course, like I mentioned, meets all the criteria, demographic, price point, amount of suppliers, everything meets what we want. But on top of that, this is something that will appeal to two different types of customers. One is the hobbyist. And people with hobbies, when they still have money to spend, they spend it. I'll tell you, golfers, even in a recession, are buying golf clubs. When you're addicted to a hobby, you spend money on it. For the people that are addicted to staring at the sky, they will continue to buy telescopes. But on top of that, there's a whole category within telescopes that appeal to children that parents purchase as gifts. And when it comes to children and gifts, again, unfortunately, during a recession, some people can't really afford them, but the type of people we sell to still do have disposable income, maybe not as much, they're just choosing where to spend it, and on their children is often where it goes. So this is a great niche that appeals to two types of people during a recession, and again, something I would definitely sell myself. Okay, moving on to the last but not least niche I wanted to include on this list, we have adjustable beds. Now, the reason I have this here is because I wanted to incorporate something that is healthcare related, because when it comes to personal health, again, for the people that still have money, upper middle class, they're still spending it, and especially when it comes to their bodies and taking care of themselves. Now, we do have to be careful that we're not trying to sell things that people need insurance to get or anything like that, because that makes the sales process more complex. It's possible, but if you're trying to build a lifestyle business powered by dropshipping, it's more work that I don't think you want to do. But something like this is something that does help people that have back problems, that have leg problems, that needs to be able to adjust their posture as they sleep. And this is a great niche where people will still spend the money, where the price point is right, where there's enough suppliers, where it appeals to the upper middle class, and where you can do very well drop shipping these products in 2023, which is why they are part of this list. Okay, guys, so that is it. Those are the top 10 niches for drop shipping in 2023. I hope you got a ton of value from this lesson, not just in having a niche you can pull from, but also into the mentality and thought process that went into selecting all of them. Now, before we wrap this up really quickly, I just wanted to show you a few more things. If you're a member of my coaching program, the Dropship Blueprint, and you haven't logged into the members area in a while, all you need to do if you have a niche idea from this list or a variation of it or anything else is log in and click Start Lesson in the Dropship Blueprint. And then in the sidebar, if you scroll down, you'll see it says Get Your Niche Verified. Now, if you click that, you can submit your niche idea to myself and my team, and we will either give you the green light on it and say, yes, this is one we believe will succeed, or we'll say, maybe you should pivot from this niche to that niche, something that is more likely to make you money. Or we might just say, hey, red light, don't do this because of X, Y, and Z. Now, on top of that, I also want to show you up here, if you go into module 1 and you haven't been here in a while, we do have many lessons in here taking you through exactly what you need to focus on to pick a profitable niche. And then moving on from module 1, in module 2, we have all the lessons on how to do that market research, how to validate the idea. And this is where we also have all of our custom software that gives you the data to help you make the decision of should I sell this or should I not? Now, finally, for anybody watching this that's not a member of Dropship Lifestyle yet, if you want to get started in the best possible place, get a free training from me, plus a list of 237 profitable products to sell online, all you need to do is click the link below this video. It's going to take you to this page. You can register for the training, and as a bonus, you're going to get 237 profitable product ideas for dropshipping in 2023. So thank you, everybody. I appreciate you, and I'll talk to you in the next one. See ya.